Hello, hello. Hey, Deb, how are you?
I'm good. How about you, Rachel?
Good. Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday to anyone tuning in today. This is I'd almost say a rare sighting these days to see you in one spot.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Deb's been
Been on
moving
the
and
whole lot.
shifting and
Yep,
having a great time back out traveling. And
yep.
today we just thought we would spend some time catching up with you. Love to hear about some of your trips that have gone, and of course we'll talk about more that we have coming up with you, Deb. Before we get started, I just want to remind everybody again, it's Rachel. Nice to see you all today. This is, oops, gosh, I got to get better at that. This is Deb over here, and we're with Northland Travel. We like to kind of get on and chat every Wednesday morning and talk about what's new and exciting in travel these days. If you'd like to leave any comments, we apologize for not being live today, but if you'd like to leave any comments, we would happily get back to you with any questions or comments or just anything fun you've got for us today. Let's just get started. If you are watching our Facebook page, you have noticed that Deb has been on the road. Got back last week from Wyoming. Tell us about the trip, Deb. How was it?
Yep. It was a great trip. We had a lot of fun. I think everybody in the group thoroughly enjoyed it. The weather cooperated 100%, which was the best ever. We did a lot. We seen a lot. We did a river boat or a rafting ride down the Snake River in Grand Tetons. They went out and did a covered wagon ride down through Cache Canyon down there, and went out and had a nice cowboy supper and some good music. And we just did a little bit of everything. We stayed in Cody, Wyoming, went to a rodeo there, stayed at the historic Irma Hotel there, which is home to Buffalo Bill, and seen a lot and did a lot there too. So yeah, I think it was just a little variety of everything, and I think everybody enjoyed it. So yeah, it was good.
And how many did you have on that trip with you?
We had 26, which is right about what we're averaging between 25 and 30 right now for our groups. We're trying to hold them down a little bit until, we're 100% over the hump here with this COVID stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, and everybody seems to enjoy these smaller groups. Yeah, it was a good time.
Great.
And then we went in April, we went on that little 3-day, that was our first trip back. In April, we went out on a May mystery trip over into Illinois just to kind of get our feet wet again. That went super good. And then in June, we went up to the Minnesota Northwoods, where we went up to and in that area and did some fun things up there. And both those trips went exceptionally well too. Everybody is just so anxious to get out and travel again, and our receptors are so welcome, just welcoming us with open arms, because they're glad to have everybody back as well. So yeah, it's good. Needless to say, I'm thrilled.
Everything's going smooth, and
yes, it is. We haven't undertaken any, bad things at all so far. So I'm hoping that it'll continue, and yeah.
Okay, so tell us what's next for you.
Okay, we're busy. And we're this summer again, then over here in a couple weeks in August, we're going to be getting back at it again with another little 3-dayer. We're going to do the Celebration Belle Mississippi Riverboat Cruise. That's scheduled for August 16th to the 18th. That one is, as most of these that I'm going to real briefly talk about, most of them here for the rest of this year, due to the fact, like I said, that everybody's so anxious to travel, that most of these, as of right now, are sold out. But please don't be afraid to call to be waitlisted, because we a lot of times have last minute cancellations due to, whatever reason, whether it be health reasons or something else that comes up and somebody has to cancel. So please don't be afraid to call and get on the waiting list. But we'll do the Celebration Belle 18th. So that should be fun. We go down into southeast Iowa. The first day down into some Amish villages down there and spend a little time there. And then the next day we'll be doing an all-day Celebration Bell riverboat cruise. And then from like 7 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. And then the next day we're going to spend the riverboat cruise goes from LeClaire, Iowa up to Dubuque. And then we'll be staying overnight in Dubuque and doing a couple fun things around Dubuque area that third morning and then coming home after that. And then we're home just less than a week. And then we're going to go out into Indiana and do the Indiana Amish Street Tour, August 23rd to the 27th. This is a 5-day trip. Again, this one is sold out as well, but don't be afraid to call to be waitlisted for this one. We're going to will be a day going out and a day coming back, but then 3 big days while we're out there in the Shipshewana area. We're going to do the quilt garden tours and the Shipshewana flea market and go out and do an Amish dinner at an Amish home one night, and they'll do some buggy rides there. And this whole time we're hubbing and spoken out of the Essen House Inn in Middlebury, Indiana. So we're just in one hotel. It's a beautiful hotel. So we just stay at that same hotel and just hub and spoke out of there. So that's going to be another fun trip. And then in September, I'm going to do the Mackinac Island, and that will be the Wisconsin North Shore included in on that. That's September 9th to the 15th. And again, this one is sold out as well, but call to be waitlisted. Every year I do Mackinac Island in one form or another. I always change the actual routing from year to year, you know, what we're going to do, so that we spend 2 days and 2 nights on Mackinac Island, but what we do before and what we do after is always something different each year. And this year we're going to do, we're going to start out and go up through and do the North Shore of Wisconsin, and then go over into the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and do the Sulaks boat tour up there in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, and then come down and spend a couple days and nights on the island, on Mackinac Island. And while we're there, we'll do the carriage tour, and we will also have a Grand Hotel luncheon buffet, the famous Grand Hotel. And then when we come back home, after we leave the island and come back down the western coast of Michigan, we're going to go to Manitowoc, or excuse me, to Ludington, Michigan. And then we're going to jump on the SS Badger car ferry and take it across over to Manitowoc and then come on home. Again, this is a very popular trip each year. I'll tell you a little bit about what I've got planned for next year with Mackinac Island as well. And then in October 21st, 31st, I'm going to do the Fall Spectacular in the Southeast. Again, this one is full as well, but call to be waitlisted. We're going to spend a couple days in Savannah, Georgia, and then we're going to go down into Southeast Georgia, right down near the Florida coast or Florida border. And we're going to take in St. Simon, it's known as the Golden Isles. We're going to take in St. Simon's Island, Jekyll Island. Where on Jekyll Island, we'll have waterfront lodging there. While we're there, we're going to have step-on guides the whole time while we're down there. We'll be doing some plantation visits. And then after we leave in the Isles area, on our way home, we're going to come up through North Carolina, and we'll stop. And first, we're going to visit the Billy Graham Library there. And then we will head on to Western North Carolina, where near Asheville, we're going to stop and visit the Biltmore Estate there. So that trip should be fun. Again, October 21st to the 31st. And then before you know it, it's Christmas time. November 8th to the 11th, I'm going to do my yearly Branson Christmas trip. Again, this one is full right now, but don't be afraid to be waitlisted. While we're there this year, we're going to do the Oak Ridge Boys. We're going to do Daniel O'Donnell. We're going to do Jesus Live on Stage, which is the production at the Sight and Sound Theater. And we're going to see Presley's Country Jubilee and the Hughes Brothers. So we're going to take in 5 good shows there. Plus we'll go see the Christmas lights and all that like we always do. Then in Nashville, and this one has vacancy yet. So you can sign up for this one if you'd sure like. We'd love to have you. Nashville, Southern Country Christmas, December 8th to the 14th. This is a 7-day trip. We're going down to Nashville. We're going to spend 2 days and 3 days and 3 nights at the Opryland Resort there, the famous Opryland Resort. If you've never been there, that's a beautiful, beautiful complex there. They've got 4 or 5 atriums within the hotel complex. Everything is just filled with all kinds of Christmas decorations, and it's really neat to see. So we always stay there when we go to Nashville. While we're in Nashville, we'll be seeing the Grand Ole Opry. We'll take in the General Jackson Showboat Luncheon Cruise. We'll also, the first night that we get into Nashville, and right there at the hotel where we won't even have to leave, the Oak Ridge Boys dinner show will be held that night. So we'll get to see that. So that'll be a lot of fun. We're going to go over and see ice while we're in Nashville. That's all those beautiful ice sculptors that these world come in and carve these really beautiful ice. So we'll get to see that as well. And then we're going to do, after we leave Nashville, we're coming up to Louisville. I'm going to do Lights Under Louisville. Louisville, Kentucky is basically built on top of a bunch of caverns, underground caverns. And one of these caverns, just on the outskirts of outskirts of Louisville, it's a huge, huge cavern. It's big enough to where they've built a road through the cavern. And believe it or not, our big old motor coach can fit in this cavern and go under it. And it's really cool because what they do at Christmas time then is they go in there and they decorate this cavern up with thousands and thousands and thousands of Christmas lights and Christmas displays. And it's really just a neat, neat thing to drive through. So that's always a highlight of this trip. And then after we leave Louisville, come up to Peoria, Illinois, and do the Christmas light display drive through there. Peoria has one of the Midwest's largest outdoor Christmas light displays. So I like to take that in every few years. So we're going to do that as well. So that pretty well wraps up 2021. Like I said, all those first ones that I talked about, other than Nashville, are all filled, but don't be afraid to call and get on the wait list. So, and then that'll get us into 2022. And we already have a full year all planned there. I don't have all the details on direct details on all of these trips, but I know what I'm going to be doing here. February 13th to the 25th of next year, our winter trip. We're going to go down to Texas and have some fun in the sun. This is a 13-day trip. It's kind of our winter getaway. And we will, with all of my trips here, when we have a far off destination like Texas in mind, we always do a lot of fun stuff on the way down and a lot of fun stuff on the way back home. We don't just drive straight to this place and then come right back home. We do a lot of fun stuff in between. So anyway, as far as Texas, February 13th to the 25th, we're going down South Padre where it's night. We're going to leave the cold of Iowa and go down there where it's nice and warm. And let you get your feet in the ocean down there and all that good stuff. We will spend 3 days and 3 nights in South Padre Island. You'll have a little time to yourself, but also we'll be doing a variety of activities while we're there. And then after we leave, and our lodging there is right along within distance of the waterfront there too. And then we're going to leave South Padre and we're going to come up to San Antonio, and we're going to spend 3 days and 3 nights there. We're going to be right on the Riverwalk there in San Antonio. And so you can come and go out of the hotel right out onto the water, or right out onto the Riverwalk there. But we'll also be doing a guided tour of the city one day where we're going to go out into the Mission District and visit that, and just a lot of other fun things in San Antonio. Then we'll come up through Waco, Texas, and Market Silo, Home and Garden TV. Why? This is where Joanna Gaines has her shows on, and this is those Market Silos. That be there. So she's got all kinds of shops there. She's got bakeries and just different shops. Bunch of food trucks always are there too as well. Choose from to eat from. So that's going to be fun. And then after we leave there, we're coming up to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We're going to go out and visit the Fort Worth Stockyards. and we'll get to spend some time out cattle doing their drive, the cattle drive right down the street. And then we'll also, while we're in the Fort Worth area, we're going to go out and visit the Texas Motor Speedway. So if we've got any NASCAR fans, why we'll take you out there and hopefully get you a lap around the track out there. We'll also be coming up through Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and we're going to be visiting the memorial there that from that bombing that took place way back in early 1990s, I believe it was. And that's quite a moving place to see that. So we're going to stop and see that as well. Then this trip, this next one I'm going to tell you about, I'm really super excited about. April 10th to the 18th of 2022, we're going to be doing the American Queen Mississippi Riverboat Cruise from Memphis to New Orleans. And what this will be is that we will fly you from the Des Moines Airport. We'll ask you to get yourself to the Des Moines Airport. And then we'll fly you from the Des Moines Airport to Memphis. And then we'll we get in there in late afternoon, early evening that night. And then we will stay overnight. And then the next morning, we're going to do a Memphis City tour. And my Memphis City tour, I've got some really fun folks that do this for me. It's not the normal city tour. I don't want to give too much away, but it's just a fun tour that we do, fun city tour. And then that afternoon, the bus will take us over to the riverboat landing, and we'll get on the American Queen and we'll set sail. And we'll be on the riverboat for 8 days and 8 nights. And all the way along, it's kind of like your normal cruise ships, if you've sailed on cruise ships before, where you port into a port through the day, and then the late afternoon, evening, you take off, and then you cruise overnight, and then the next morning, you're in another port. And that's kind of how this riverboat works, too. As far as the riverboat itself, everything is inclusive, all inclusive on the riverboat. Your lodging, because we'll be staying right on the riverboat, the lodging, the dining, the entertainment they have on there, it's all inclusive on the boat. So it's kind of a one deal package. So it works it's really super, super nice. And it's so much relaxing time. You know, you can just sit out and just watch the river go by. It's really, really neat. Some of the port stops that we will be making will be in Vicksburg, Mississippi, Natchez, Mississippi, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and there's a couple others as well. And then, like I said, we end up in New Orleans. And then we'll get into New Orleans like about 8 o'clock in the morning that last day. And then we'll be met there by a local motor coach that's going to pick us up along with a step-on guide. And then that morning we'll spend 2 or 3, 4 hours. She'll be doing a city tour with us, and we'll be visiting some of the highlights of the New Orleans area. And then late morning, they will drop us down on the French Quarter, and we'll let everybody have 3 or 4 hours down on the French Quarter, where you can find yourself some good Southern cuisine down there, and you'll get to visit, the shops and the stores and the French Quarter market and all that's down there. So I think you'll really enjoy that. And then late afternoon, then we'll meet up with the bus again down there, and then they will take us out to the airport, and then we'll have our evening flight back home to Des Moines again that night. So again, this is one I'm super excited about. It's a real relaxing trip. There's nothing rushed about this at all. When we get into some of these ports, if you don't care to even get off the riverboat that day and you just want to relax while you can, there's always activities going on the riverboat. So it's something I'm really, really excited about. And this trip is a confirmed go, whether we have 10 people, and we do have several signed up already, whether we do have 10 people going or we have 30 people going, why it's a definite go. So you don't have to worry about that one getting canceled. So if you want more information either on Texas or this American Queen, I do have the information sheets ready on those, the pricing and everything. So please contact me, and I'll be more than happy to send you the information. Then in May, late April, early May, I'm going to do a NASCAR race. I do not know at this point where it's going to be for sure. They haven't come up, NASCAR hasn't come up with their 2022 schedule yet. So as soon as they have, or they get it out, I will take a look at it, and then we'll figure out where we're going to go and what we're going to do there. So that should be fun. Then in June, we're going to go out into eastern Wisconsin, out to the Port Washington area, which is just north of Milwaukee a little bit. And we're going to do a 2-day salmon fishing trip out there. I try and come up with these new tours to keep everybody interested and just do something fun and lighthearted once in a while. And that's what this one's going to be. And we'll do a couple days of fishing, like I said, a few hours a day. And then we'll do some other fun stuff in the area at the same time. So that again is a new trip, but it should be a fun one. Then in July of next year, we're going to do Colorado by train. One year I alternate Colorado and Wyoming. One year I do Wyoming and next year I do Colorado. But I always try and, just like Mackinac, I like to try and change up the trips a little bit. So the Colorado next year is going to be taking in quite a few trains. And one of the highlights of this trip is we're going to do the Durango to Silverton train ride, which is an awesome train ride. It's an all-day train ride. Durango and Silverton are located kind of down in the southwest part of Colorado, but it's a beautiful train ride going up through there. You'll get to see all the Colorado aspens and it's a beautiful, beautiful ride. And then another one of the trains we'll be doing is the Royal Gorge, where we'll be down at the bottom, actually at the bottom of the gorge area, where you look up and there'll be cliffs 1,000 feet high on both sides of you. And then later that day, we'll also go visit Royal Gorge Park, where you'll get a chance to walk out on the bridge and look 1,000 feet down, where you'll see the train that you took that morning. So that'll be a lot of fun. We're also going to do another train we're going to do is the COG Railway, which takes us up to Pikes Peak. And this has been down, the COG's been down for the last 2 or 3 years. It's been undergoing some major maintenance. They've been upgrading a lot of the track and the train cars and so on and so forth. And so it's been down a couple of years, but now it's back up and running. So that's always a fun one to do. Plus we'll do a couple shorter other train rides as well on that trip. Then late August, early September next year, I'm going to do, right after Labor Day, I'm going to do a Southwest tour where we're going to go down and visit the Grand Canyon, spend some time down there. We'll stop in Williams. We'll do some fun stuff on the way down, some Route 66 stuff down through Oklahoma and so on and so forth. But then when we get down or over to the Grand Canyon area, we'll stay the night in Williams, Arizona. And then the next morning we'll get on the train and take the train up to the Grand Canyon. Then we'll have a guided tour, bus tour of the Grand Canyon where you can get on and get off and take pictures and so on and so forth. So that's always a fun day. And we're also going to visit Bryce National Park, which is the home of the Hoodoo Rocks, the Spiral Rocks. We're going to visit there. We're going to go to Antelope Canyon, which is a hidden secret hidden gem as far as I'm concerned. I don't like to give too much away about what that's all about. Everybody's just in awe when they see it, so it's fun. We're going to be doing a train ride on this Southwest tour as well this time. We're going to take in the Cumbros Toltec, New Mexico train ride, which is another fun train ride. So we're going to be doing that one. Plus a lot of other things. So again, this is late August, early September, right after Labor Day of next year, of 2022. Then late September of next year, this is where I'm going to do my yearly Mackinac Island. Take that in. We're going to do a circle tour next year of Lake Michigan. I don't have the details and the definite spots that we're going to hit yet, but if you look at Lake Michigan and we're going to take in, practically encompass a good share of the state, making lots of different fun stops along the way. Like I said, I'll have details on that later, but it will include 2 days and 2 nights on Mackinac Island. Then in October, and this is a reschedule of one of my 2020 tours that I couldn't fit in this year, we're going to do early October an Ozark Mountain Tour, where we're going to go down into the Eureka Springs, Eureka Springs, Arkansas area, just in northern Arkansas. And while we're there, we'll take in the Passion Play. We'll do a train ride out into the Ozarks and just have a lot of fun there. And then on our way, after we're leaving there and coming back up through Missouri, we're going to come back up through Lake of the Ozarks, and we'll do a dinner cruise one night there as well. So that'll be fun. Then in later October, I'm going to do the Autumn in the Smoky Mountains. We haven't done this one in a while. We'll go down to do some fun stuff again on the way down, the way back. But we'll go down and visit Pigeon Forge. You'll get to spend some time at Dollywood. We'll go into Gatlinburg and spend some time. So it's just a beautiful time of the year in the Smoky Mountains when you go down there in October. And then November, I'll be doing my normal Branson Christmas again next year. And then in December of next year, I'm going to do Southern Country Christmas, which will again take in Nashville, but we'll also go over to Memphis and do Graceland and do a bunch of other fun stuff too. I don't have the details specifically on that one yet, but that's just kind of a grand idea. So that kind of wraps it up for next year.
Woo!
Got a busy year again.
There you have it. That's Deb's rest of 2021 and 2022 all wrapped up there.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, as time goes on, you'll see more and more of the details come out, like Deb had mentioned already about the 2022 trips. We'll be sure to post those always on our website and let you know on Facebook as well when a lot of those details are finalized and you're able to get signed up for those tours. Just a couple things. First of all, it didn't happen a lot, but sorry if maybe there was a little bit of cutting in and out with the Wi-Fi. You know, I think Deb and I kind of chalked that up to the heat, and I don't work well in heat either. So, you know, we just roll with it. If you happen to miss any details, have any questions, as always, you can call Rhonda. You can see the number here on the screen. Call Rhonda. We'd be happy to get you any of the sell sheets, or again, you can check the website or call Rhonda. So,
yep. And I'd also like to say for any of these here from, like I said, for 2022, I've got the Texas all planned. You can get that information sheet, and American Queen, I've got that one too as well. But starting from May on, the NASCAR race and all those that I talked about at the end, I do not have planned yet, but will in the upcoming months. Usually I try and do them approximately 10 to 12 months out ahead of time. But if you would like information when these do come out, contact myself, contact Rhonda, whoever, and either through email or phone or whatever you want to do, and let us know that you're interested in those. And then when I have those information sheets all put together, then I will send you the information sheet. And also, like Rachel said, just watch our website and it'll come up on there as well. But we'd be more than happy to send you, the information sheet.
Sure thing. And one final thing, Deb has mentioned it time and time again, and I just want to reiterate this. Don't be afraid to call and get your name on the wait list for any of these 2021 tours. Because Deb, well, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to be wrong, but I believe with the last 2 tours that you had, you were able to pull some in from the wait list.
Yes,
right?
yes. And that's a pretty common thing. Like I said, for some unfortunate reason, there's quite a few, or not quite a few, but there's always, 1 or 2 that might have to unfortunately cancel. And so,
sure thing. So
and you don't have to,
yeah.
Right. You don't have to be 100% committed, to be put on this wait list. I mean, we don't, if Rhonda calls you and says, okay, you're next to go, I mean, you still, if you see in the meantime the dates aren't going to work or whatever, why, you can back out. You're not under any obligation to have to go, but we'd sure like to take you.
You bet. And just getting your name on that wait list, it's just like the next in line. So it's a good opportunity. And we definitely encourage you to do that if any of these ones that Deb has mentioned that are sold out interest you at all. So, yeah. Otherwise, Deb, that was a lot. You're going places.
Yep, I am. We're busy. We're on the road a lot, but that's what this job's all about. And we enjoy doing what we're doing. And we've met so many neat people over the years that it's rewarding to do it. So, yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much for taking the time, Deb, to talk with everybody today. And everyone, thanks for tuning in just to kind of see what's going on with us. We appreciate you here every Wednesday. Again, any questions, just call the office or leave a comment here. We'd be happy to help you out. And gosh, I'm looking forward to next Wednesday, which is August 4th.
That's right.
I believe we're going to be talking about the Kansas City shopping tour with Paula and Suzanne next week. So be sure to join us for that. Until then, everyone have a great time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.